All right, so what comes inside the box? We have a setup manual, our safety and warranty guide. We have our power cord, and we have a 65-watt power adapter. I'm going to plug in our power cord inside the power adapter. And the power adapter has a Type-C connection, which is awesome. We're going to put these three little things to the side. And then we have the beautiful Lenovo IdeaPad S940 laptop. Oh my God, this is so awesome. Off the bat, this is an all-metal body aluminum casing. And it has a lot of ports and features. And we're going to go over some of the ports and features. If you have the laptop facing you to the point that you're able to open it up this way, on your left-hand side, you have one Type-C 3.1 USB port. This is the one that you can actually hook up your power adapter to charge it up. And then right next to it, you have your audio jack, your combo audio jack, which allows you to hook up a headphone or a headphone with a mic. On the right-hand side, we have two Thunderbolt 3 ports, which allows you to hook up external monitors, 4K all the way. And that's it for the ports and features on this particular laptop. One of the things I do not like about this laptop, there's no USB. I was forced to actually buy a USB hybrid, which kind of has like a 3.1 USB and a Type-C kind of combination. So I had to spend money to actually like drag and drop my files into this laptop. So that's one of the downfalls about this IdeaPad S940. There's no USB, so it's straight Type-C connection. Like I mentioned before, it's all metal body material made out of aluminum. And it has like the sandblasted iron gray color, which is awesome, beautiful. The weight of the laptop is super light. It weighs under 3 pounds. It's really beautiful, nicely cut design. Let's open this guy up and power it on and check out the specifications. Now, one of the cool things about the IdeaPad S940 from Lenovo is that it actually has this nice little notch at the top of the display, which actually it's really easy to open up the lid rather than like digging in your like fingertips and try to open it up. This guy has like a nice little notch right here that allows you to open up the laptop super easy. Also, it gives it a nice little real estate to fit in at the top a 720p IR camera. If you have Windows 10, which is going to come with Windows 10 as a primary operating system, it allows you to use Windows Hello. Uses the face recognition to log into the machine, which is an extra security feature. Now, the power button is located at the right side, upper right side of the laptop. So we're going to power this guy on real quick. Now, I do have the IR camera set up, so I'm going to like bend over a little bit so I can log in. I didn't touch the keyboard at all. It doesn't have a fingerprint scanner. So the IR camera security feature to log in is the way to go. I like it. But you are able to use like a 4-digit, 5-digit PIN or a regular password using letters or numbers. One of the primary things that you're going to use a lot on the laptop is the keyboard, right? Duh. I did not like the way that the keys felt on my fingertips. It just felt really flat. I really had to like force myself to get used to it. But eventually I did get used to using the keys. The distance between each key is around a nickel and a dime. So if you take a nickel and a dime, you put it in between the letters. That's the distance between each key. I mean, they're not bunched up. They feel, I was able not to make a lot of mistakes when I was typing, but it just feels extremely flat. The keyboard itself is backlit. It does have 3 kind of levels for the keyboard to lit up. That's a huge plus, especially if you're using a laptop at night. Now, the trackpad itself for measurement, if you take about 2 quarters, 1 nickel, and 2 dimes, that's your measurement right there. I did have some trouble navigating with the trackpad itself. I think it was mostly a Windows operating setting that I had to configure. Once I configured it, the trackpad was working with no problem. On the keyboard, I love the fact that Lenovo on the S940, the control key and the function key are in the right position. I've seen a lot of their laptops that the function key is and the control key is kind of swapped out. And sometimes Lenovo kind of gives you like a built-in application that allows you to swap it, software-wise, but, they're still there. But I like the fact that the control key and the function key are in the right position. Now, for speakers, the S940 has 4 speakers. 4 speakers powered by Dolby speakers, and 2 right here, and then 2 in the bottom. Which, when you're playing music, it kind of hits the surface and kind of just bounces off, and then you have these 2 speakers just shooting right in your face. I didn't have any problems with the noise. Noise when you're watching video or listening to music is beautiful. It's awesome. It's great. Super high as well. One of the cool features on the S940 is this contour glass and thin bezel with 4K HDR Dolby Vision display. When watching videos like in Netflix and Hulu or Stars or watching Game of Thrones on this particular laptop, it's just awesome. Beautiful display. It's amazing. The colors are awesome, especially if you switch on the HDR on this particular machine. You get that nice, vibrant, dynamic color. It just pops out. Now, the display size is 14-inch Ultra HD with a resolution of 3840 by 2160, making it a 4K display. If you guys are wondering about the nit, it's about 500 nits. And again, it does have HDR Dolby Vision panel, which allows you to it kind of like brightens out the colors. Like you can actually see the wallpaper on this particular desktop. It's just the colors are so solid and just, oh my God, it's just great. All right, so let's take a look at the specifications on the S940, especially the one that I've been testing out for you guys for the past couple of weeks. So on the desktop, if I right click on the taskbar, go to Task Manager, and we're gonna go to Performance. Cool. And we're gonna maximize the window a little bit. And I'm gonna right click here. I'm gonna change the graph to logical processors because this guy is running an Intel Core i7-8565U processor with a clock speed of 1.80 gigahertz. And it's actually one socket, 4 cores, 8 logical processors, right? For memory, again, this model that I've been testing out for you guys, memory is only 16 gigs. For storage, it's actually running a 512 gigabyte NVMe PCIe solid state drive. And for the graphics card, it's running an Intel Ultra HD Graphics 620, which actually, you're going to get that because of the processor. Now, for the specifications, the machine is capable of handling a couple of things. I did have some issues when I was editing 4K videos on this particular laptop. I thought with the 16 gigs and the processor, I was able to maybe, do a little light editing. But I did have a lot of hiccups. All right, with the specifications that this particular machine has that I've been testing out for you guys for the past couple of days, what's the price? So let's go online and look at the price. So the IdeaPad S940 14-inch starting price is $1,259, close to $1,300. It's an extremely expensive little laptop that weighs under 3 pounds. So we are going to look at the tech specifications, and you could definitely get up to 8th generation processor. The one that I have is an i7-8765U processor with the clock speed of 1.80, but you could go up to 4.60 gigahertz with turbo boost. Windows 10 is the primary operating system. For display, you get 2 types. You get the 4-inch Full HD or the Ultra HD. I would definitely, if you have the extra money, go for the Ultra HD. And up to 16 gigs, and it's on board. This is what I hate, on board. You can't actually remove the bottom part and upgrade the memory yourself. It's soldered on the motherboard. So you're stuck with 16 gigs. Now for battery, Lenovo is actually stating up to 15 hours full HD display and 7.5 hours for the Ultra display. Now I think that's actually true for 7.5 hours because I ran 3 tests on this particular machine. I ran a modern office battery test and I got about 4 hours. And I said to myself, wait, they're advertising 7.5 on their site. So I ran another test just dealing with video and it was around 6:34. So I was like, oh, okay, it's getting a little close to there. And the last test that I ran was idle battery life and it was like 5 hours. Now, if I'd adjust the display screen to lower down the brightness and made a couple of modifications on the Windows side for the animation and all that other stuff, I could have basically got maybe 7 hours on this particular machine, which is really good. Now, for storage, you could go up to a terabyte PCIe solid state drive. This particular model that I've been testing out for you guys is around 512, which is not that bad. You're stuck with the graphics card of the Ultra HD 620 graphics. Again, like I said, it has 4 speakers, 2 right here, 2 in the bottom. The camera itself is 720p HD, and it's also an IR camera, which allows you to use Windows Hello to log into your machine. That's a nice little security feature to log in. I like that feature. I'd rather use that feature than the fingerprint feature. Now, if you want to buy now, let's click on buy now. And if you buy now, they're only advertising 2. Starting price, like I said, is around $1,300, $1,259. It's not around $1,300, but with the taxes and stuff, you're going to be paying $1,300. And if you want to get the iron gray one, it's going to cost you around $1,600, $1,630. But the starting price one is only going to give you an i5 processor. And the one that's going to be around $1,700 is going to give you the i7 processor. Again, you are able to customize it when you are checking out. For the starting price one, you're going to get only 8 gigs of memory. And also with the $1,700 one, you're still going to get the 8 gigs of memory. But if you kind of configure it during checkout, it's going to cost a little bit more. So I would say maybe $1,800 you're going to be spending on this machine. A little bit more, maybe $2,000, because the $1,700 one only gives you 256 gigs of space. If you want to go up to 1 terabyte, that's going to cost you more. So I say this laptop is super expensive, $2,000 for it. Wow, that's nuts. Okay, so the IdeaPad S940 is a great little laptop, especially if you have a lot of money to spend on it. If you want a higher storage, the best processor, the Ultra HD display, you got to spend to get all that stuff. One of the things I do not like about the S940 is that you're stuck with 16 gigs. It's on board. Doesn't give me any chance to upgrade in the future. That sucks. One of the downfalls that I had because of the beautiful 4K display, when I was using certain programs, the text didn't look right. Don't get me wrong, I am able to downgrade it to a 1080p resolution, but come on. If you're spending that extra money, you want to use and take advantage of that 4K display. When I was watching movies within Netflix, the color, super vibrant. The sound, because of the 4 speakers that it has, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, using Dolby Studio sound system, it works and it sounds great. Now, if you're wondering about noise, this guy, in the beginning, when I took it out the box, when I did the unboxing, I was playing around with it. It did make a little bit of noise on this little area right here. It kind of freaked me out, but eventually it kind of stopped. And ever since, I did not hear the noise at all. So this guy is super silent. So if you ever purchase it and you hear the noise, give it some time and eventually the noise would disappear. Now for heating, it does get a little hot around this area, around the keyboard and also on the display and the back. But it's not to the point that you're not able to use it as, you know, a laptop on your lap. So I didn't really have too much concern of the heating. And because it's me, I didn't like the feel of the keys. You probably, if you purchase it, you might like the flat key feel of it. The trackpad at the very beginning, I did have some issues with it. It was kind of acting a little wonky, but that was basically a Windows 10 setting that I had to configure. And the IR camera is a super plus for me. I don't like using fingerprint scanners, so using the IR camera and Windows Hello feature to log in, which was a huge plus. I like that feature. Overall, I think the laptop is super expensive if you want to get the latest and greatest hardware on it. But it's a great find. It's just too expensive. Overall, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review on Lenovo's IdeaPad S940. If you have any questions or comments, leave them right below. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.